right. A little something special for the WGGGMBUCC. It's a lyrical sculpture in the sand that I carve. This is Flash on the mic, now on the carve. From 40 to 60, we are on the attack. If I can just get some vitamin I from my back foot on the line, yeah, I'm ready to go. Or did I just pull a muscle? Hold on for a moment. Play it cool. Just act like I'm young. Got flicks on my wrist and lyrics on my tongue. 10 more years left to go. Tricks from the past and a buttery flow. A little slow off the start. I like to call my speed brisk. The sunshine glints off my slow-moving disc. You know how it goes with the sand between my toes. I got none of the pivots, but all the throws. Yeah, I got some dodgy knees. Disc in my hand and the sun in the sky. My dad bod goes jiggle and my hucks they fly. My spirits are rising like a disc on the breeze, going miles out of bounds to the Portuguese seas. I played a point, yeah, I need a sub and a good long soak in an XL tub. Don't need to run anymore, I'm one of 14 handlers. Happy Gilmore this disc like we're all Adam Sandlers. I'm slow off the start. I like to call it brisk. The sunshine glints on my slow-moving disc. You know how it goes with the sand between my toes. We got none of the pivots, but all the throws. Alright, let's finish this off. My 6'2" still works in the bar. I can see from miles. Got drinks on my radar. Porta Mile Party is the place we flee for the friends we see in these great memories. Yeah, I feel the spirit as I pull every sinew. Shatter my knees, yet we're gonna continue. Take this hand, better yet carry me from the beach to the bar, better yet to the sea. I'm slow off the start. I like to call my speed brisk. The sunshine glints off my slow-moving disc. You know how it goes with the sand between our toes. We got none of the pivots, but all of the throws.
And welcome back to the beaches of Sardinia. We are back, day 3 of the World Great Grand Masters Beach Ultimate Club Championships. I'm Stefan Rapazzo here with Hannah Pendlebury, just underway into the first point. 2 throws in, and we're going to get a substitution, a niggle on the play. Young Legends against Tragic Hips. And this one means something as far as these flower power pools go. We'll take you through the play and tell you a bit more about that. It's Young Legends with the disc. Felgner. Struba. Fires one into Lulgin. Low, caught safely with 2 hands. Schönberg. Oh, and that one too far in front. Lumley only needs to turn around to get that D.
Yeah, that was a bit of a strange choice. There didn't seem to be the eye contact, certainly an easy pickings for the hips defender.
And that one chucked deep, and you'll get a taste of what this wind is doing early. Yesterday morning, super calm. This morning, much different, Hannah.
It is, and we've got a slight crosswind to it. It's been pretty much for the first 2 days of competition. Mirrored directions of upwind, downwind games. First it was left to right, then it was right to left. Now we've got sort of a diagonal, right to left, but from behind our camera views as we get our lovely drone footage. Of course, still not too windy to stop our drone coverage, which is nice.
Young Legends, second chance to hold. Coming out of their own end zone. First one received by Schönberg. Wide around, nice take there by Lilo Struba, and then a turn immediately thereafter.
Yeah, this is a bit of a sloppy start for a very important game. Of course, these are the 2nd and 3rd seeds in the power pool stage, so the winner of this game will advance to the championship bracket as we get a straight up drop there from Seiten Stiebert.
Very sloppy start here. I guess for Young Legends after turn, they don't mind. They're getting it back, and another one banged away. Oh, a second chance. Lumley ensures it this time and bashes it out of bounds.
Yeah, Owen Lumley there. That's his second block. Got the first one. But that was a bit more of a miscue.
Lumley with the disc. He goes inside. That's McCann. Now bang to the sideline. Lumley again. That one from Kerbach. And back centered to Loudon. Steba to Loudon. Floated up. McCann, the intended receiver, and yet another turn on this, the first point of the game.
Do you think they've had an agreement at the start of this game, Steph, that they're going to get all the turnovers for the first half in the single point? Because that is a little bit how it feels. It is blustery. I think at the moment we've got gusts of 32 kilometres per hour in new money.
I don't know if there was an agreement, but it would seem that way right now, wouldn't it? Next throw from the front corner, and another sloppy one. This wind getting the best of what Lulgin wants to do. Now Seaton, Stebut, high over top, and there is the break. That one in to Lauan, and the first point goes to the Tragic Hips.
Well, they've got the downwind break to start off. Of course, it is considerably windy today, so perhaps not the worst choice to start on defense in the game if you win the toss. Not normally fans of it in really meaningful games that you have to win to get yourself into the top 8.
I'm with you, and I've argued for this, the 4 year sunset, but when it is strong wind, I will choose the wind with some hope that the wind may change. And if I can take the advantage at the very beginning of the game, if it's really, really that strong one directional, this is getting close to qualifying. It is really getting stronger every couple minutes right now.
It's marginal at the moment. It's that thing of you could make a really fair argument for either one. It just depends on how much you back yourself throwing against this breeze. All your opponents, kind of, you know, all of the teams here. It's a relatively light schedule, 2 games a day, 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon. So there is ample opportunity to scout, and of course, plenty of coverage from us here at UltiTV.
Young Legends, Vital, zone employed by Tragic Hips to try and prevent the downwind. Vital gets it back again. Now Hartel. Vital throws low, but Schunk picks it up. And Zormeyer. Vital. Schunk working it into the red zone. Float one to the near sideline. Zormeyer. Ooh, squeaks it through the hole in the cup there, and then Vital from his knees finds a way to get it through to Hartel, and the Germans, Young Legends, tie things up 1 apiece.
Yeah, Ingo Hartel, one of the preferred targets when Young Legends are on offense. Hopefully, the number 69, Volker Schmidt, will be okay. We opened our broadcast just as he was leaving the pitch. He sort of, I think, just tweaked his ankle or his knee in some of the opening moments of this game. Great work through the zone, though, nice and patient. Sandra Zormeyer, we saw her with some absolutely phenomenal throws yesterday and executed some difficult low ones in this breeze, but certainly keeping the disc nice and low with lots of snap on it is a great strategy against this gusty conditions this fine morning. But nothing that these experienced athletes can't handle, Steph.
Yet the experience is there. They've all seen it before. That is the truth. And as the opening rap says, the throws should be the one part of this game that are handleable for this age division. Veteran throwers. Patrick van de Valk, one of the administrators of Bula here, putting the player shorts on, getting it done with Tragic Hips, and brings it to the brick mark.
And narrowly didn't manage to. He played some disc golf and tweaked his back a couple of weeks ago.
Ooh, and the low throw gets away. And now a upwind break available for the young legends. Lulgin goes back to Kolstad. Kolstad fires one and gets a completion. That one to Felkner. Now Hermicking. Fakes outside, now looking back to center. Throws to the sideline, finds the intended receiver. That is Staffenson for the goal, and that is an upwind break. Handy stuff by the young legends.
Well, that is more what we'd expect to come out of young legends. They're a little bit of stumbling around in the early stages. They capitalize on an early mistake from Tragic Hips. Van der Valk, unfortunately, just unable to get the extension on that throw that he wanted. See the replay there. Claudia Hermicking, of course, mother to Alina and Sara.
Exceptional young players.
Absolutely, it was a real delight to watch them earlier on this season. So we've covered it all. We've got the full collection, the trifecta of Hermicking athletes this season.
In 3 different age brackets, 3 different tournaments.
Indeed. Perhaps we'll have to get them all together for some sort of family affair. That would be a really interesting tournament format to run, actually, if you had to have a team where you had at least every one player was related by marriage or by familial bloodlines to another on their team.
There would be some handy teams available. There's a lot of ultimate love and family building that's gone on over the years. There are some handy teams available.
And a surprising number of twins in Ultimate. I don't think I don't know if you've noticed, Steph, but it seems to be a sport that lots of twins like to play. Don't know what that's about.
That one goes out of bounds and is picked up by Robert Engelbrecht. He's going to bring that to the line. Engelbrecht, he goes inside. And the next throw is just barely handled, and now there's some discussion if Guatz let that one touch the ground or not. It was a bit speculative, I'll say.
Well, he definitely had a moment where he lost possession of the disc in terms of the control. It's just whether or not it was physically on his body, which would be allowed, or if it did indeed touch the sand.
Yeah, it was as though it was falling off his hip, and he regained it. Here's another look.
Yeah, you can see it does flip over there. We don't have the angle on it, because he's sneakily blocked it with his hips.
Yeah. Oh, tough. Our angle doesn't really improve anything. What do you all back home think? Let us know in the chats. Get active.
Fair resolution though, sending it back to the last agreed upon piece of play. Solid, spirited resolution.
Iwashko in the dump space, well covered up for a moment, but finds a way to get hit and then hits the next pass. Iwashko again. Engelbert. Centered. Quats, and that one flubs out of the fingers there and spins away. Young Legends, Vital, shoots deep, but that's a bit too much, even for the speedy Inga Moreau.
Well, for a minute I did think that she was going to maybe catch up with it, but that pesky breeze really did make that miscommunication unredeemable. But a nice idea from Rue Weidel. Certainly got themselves some good yards against this win. Not that we advocate playing huck and D.
Punt and pin. Deep shot by Engelbert, looking for Stiebert. Got him. Guatz in the end zone tries to isolate, and Stiebert waiting for reinforcements, but well covered the first one. Now, he shoots inside and gets Stiebert. That is an upwind hold, and they're all going to have to be like that until we see the potential for another break. Offense is going to be going up into this difficult, pesky wind.
I'm going to put it out here. I think playing with Seaton Stiebert is basically a cheat code on sand. The way that he moves is absolutely incredible. Because there are no slouches on this Young Legends team, but you could see there just even when the sort of open side is closed off with the body of the defender, just sneakily gaining yards and then turns so dynamically and is immediately available completely free. So a good gainer. Stiebert really making himself useful in that point and coming back on. Started playing at Guelph University way back when.
Ballistic yodeling earwigs. We mentioned it last time, and I couldn't think of the B when he was playing there in Guelph. Here comes Volker Schmidt and the Young Legends. Now it's Kolstad. Ooh, the under bounces off the fingertips of Schönberg in a glorious chance. Lumley collects. Now it's Launen. Back to Lumley on the doorstep. Can they generate the space they need in front to Stiebert? Stiebert. And it's in for another goal. 3-2, that is another break. So we're getting the breaks here. 2 breaks to 1. Breaks in both directions, breaks for both teams.
Wait, is that another goal for Seaton Stiebert?
That is another goal for Seaton Stiebert. The cheat code.
Yeah, I stand by my statement.
Is legitimate.
Involved in every single one of Tragic Hips' goals so far. If he can maintain his energy, because of course this is deciding who will advance into the top 8. Young Legends, defending silver medalists from last year. They had a very exciting final against Team America, although as they're known here, Spangled instead. But we've got a little bit of a change of personnel for this defensive line for Tragic Hips, but yeah, getting that early downwind break to start the game. That's Tragic Hips putting themselves in front once again, but Young Legends have already shown us that they can also break this Canadian side, who had that very tight game yesterday, went to a universe point finish against Notsu O. So this year, Tragic Hips way up in the standings.
Schunk goes to Vital, and then across to Lehman. The under goes. Zollmeyer to Vital. Vital, high release, but that's going to be too far for Schunk to recover. Vital thought his receiver might be able to adjust, but I think that throw got too much wind for any receiver potential. Dropped the other way. Injury called immediately.
Oh golly gee.
Gee whiz. Claire G out and holding the hip. She's replaced by Kerbach. And it'll come in the hands of Sandra Zormeyer. Finds Vital right away. Vital up line, the defense charging but not quick enough. And they're in for a goal. Ingo Hartel cashes in. The Young Legends hold back after the Canadian break.
Well, if Rue Vital can continue to connect with his teammates in the correct fashion, I think that turnover to Klaus Perelli Schunk was a bit of a... He saw that the player was covered downfield and actually threw to a really nice idea to the break side. It's just the fact that Pirelli hadn't really thought about running to the break side when that window had been closed by the defence quite effectively, but Notsuo have arrived on the sidelines. They've sauntered over and just enjoying the early morning sun shining, or trying to shine through the clouds behind us. It's a bit of a overcast day here in Sardinia, but still very warm and pleasant.
And that shot, Lumley to Van de Valk. Heck of a shot. Patrick was off like a flash from the moment the pull was caught. And Stiebe to Lumley did nothing but set up for the delivery.
Yeah, gorgeous separation for the former president of the Beach Ultimate Lovers Association. Patrick Van der Valk has, of course, handed that over to his fantastic wife, Sofia Pereira. But both of them are really such key, pivotal parts of Beach Ultimate internationally. Always organising at these tournaments.
Yep, and not shy to play. They've still got it.
Well, I've heard, Steph, that they've made a deal with Pedro Vargas that next World Great Grandmasters Beach Ultimate Club Championships, he's going to TD. So the two of them can just focus on playing. Of course, they've had a lot of things to get sorted this season, most notably the European Beach Ultimate Club Championships back in Royan, which went off pretty well.
Yep, great tournament. Go back and watch that coverage on UltiTV.
Indeed, and handled a lightning delay on the Friday pretty superbly.
Yeah, it's almost enjoyable.
I had a great time. I was hiding in our hotel with the Team Swedish women.
Yeah, I mean, we made it to the bar, unsurprisingly. The bar wasn't open, though, so that part's, you're probably a little bit more surprised that we hung out in a bar that was not serving.
So you just had to have the smell of last night's alcohol.
Yeah, and some coffees. Shunk with the disc. Ooh, and there's a hand on it, but not enough. Moreau collects the tipped pass and goes right back to Shunk. Shunk zips one deep. Hartel's under it. Two hands on it, not in, and almost rushed it to Moreau, but now the stall count mounts, and he has to get to Moreau, but in the dump space. Shunk gets it from Lehman. Shunk looking upfield. That mark is spinning every which way. Lehman goes back, and there's some contact from the mark. Shot for goal, and it's in. That's Hartel collecting the goal. Make it 4 apiece. Back and forth. Great game to start the day in these gusty conditions.
Yeah, Volker Lehmann with a little bit of vision there. Inger Hartel didn't really have to work too hard for that one, but he'll add another to his tally. That's 3 goals of Young Legends 4 so far. They level us back up, but Young Legends need to grab themselves an upwind break of score to put us back on serve. So a really fantastic pull, Steph. That was so deep.
Stiebe sends it deep the other way, and it's just too far in front of Kerbach for her to be able to make a play at it.
Yeah, Kirsten, or KQ as she's known. Hailing from Windsor originally, but currently residing over in Ottawa. She's a real speedy athlete. She's been playing since the start of the millennium, and got a win back in 2019 in the Grandmasters Women's Division back at the USAU Nationals.
Windsor, border town, Detroit crossing. And the leading throw is scooped up and collected by Lulgin. The under comes, hands out from Kolstad, and he gets it. Kolstad looked to go up line, and there's some contact there, surely. Engelbrecht happy to accept the foul, almost to insist upon it. And it's going to be Kohlstadt once again. Finds a space inside, but the hands won't close. It bounces away. And Patrick van der Valk pop passes one over to Lumley. Ooh, that one's high and into a white-shirted crowd. They're going to give it right back. Ooh, and straight back again.
It's a real strange rhythm of this game. It's either ruthlessly efficient or quite turnover heavy. That's 4 now.
So Patrick van der Valk brings it in, far sideline, just beyond midfield, had a cut from Stiebert, but couldn't get it to him, and then the next throw over the head of Lumley. This wind wreaking havoc as Lulgin sends deep, has an option, Kohlstadt, but can't toe the line and get up as high as he needed to.
Well, half of the time is officially expired in this game. Not surprising that we're still at 4s though, Steph. It's been a difficult battle with this wind.
Yeah, tight game here. They're both contesting similarly against the conditions here. 4 apiece, but yes, the pace is not scorching as far as putting goals go. That was a bit of scorching footwork by Lumley to catch up to the Stiebert Huck down the far sideline, and the 5th point eventuates onto the board. 5-4 lead for the Tragic Hips of Canada. Of course, this would be an upset in every sense by seeding and by pool redraw. Last year's finalists and consistent finalists, at least the last 2 years, maybe more. The Young Legends have been into the final here at Greatest Beach. And to not make the top 8 would be a major upset. But the Tragic Hips wouldn't mind doing as much.
Well, we are in Power Pool F. We talked about them being flower power pools, but this is definitely a pool of doom. As you say, it's a real massive improvement on seeding for Tragic Hips. They finished off 11th place last season back in Portimao. So a really fantastic improvement. A bit of a different roster, I think.
Yeah, this team, I was surprised that this team didn't go up after day 1, after original pools. To see them be a 3rd seed in their pool, I think they dropped one unexpected game and they had maybe a tough pool, and now, I mean, Young Legends may cost them a spot in the top 8 if it goes to serve from here on out. Timeout called after Zormeyer receives that huck from Vital. They're going to stop and think about it, set up an end zone offense, and see what they can do. We're going to take a short break too, and we'll be right back to see what happens with this German possession.
For the first time ever, from the golden sandy blankets of Portimao, Portugal, ULA and UltiTV bring you the World Beach Ultimate Club Championship 2024. The best club teams in the world will converge on the Portuguese Algarve. With expectations for upwards of 150 teams, this promises to be a tournament worth bucket listing. Whether on the sands or watching the action from your screen, WBUCC 2024 is a tournament not to be missed.
My mom and I made a cookbook. Traditional recipes passed down through the generations.
They cater very well to modern kitchens.
Our recipes come from all over Italy, primarily from Le Marche and Sicily, where my parents come from. Two of the best culinary regions.
All the regions of Italy have their own signature food.
Buying this book will make you smarter and better looking.
Mannaggia Stefano, just promote the book.
Just search Mama's Italian Classics anywhere you can buy books online and get your hands on a copy. Disc in play. First throw does work. Zormeyer finds Vital. That was the connection for the Huck to get him to that line in the opposite direction. Vital found Zormeyer. Zormeyer returns the favor, and that ties things up at 5. I think that is going to account for a timed half based on the announcements made.
So 5 apiece. That will then make half be taken at 6 rather than at 7. All curious scenes happening, but of course the main thing is to flip the sides for the win. An upwind break here though is the must-do scenario really for Young Legends, because with only 15 minutes left in this 45-minute game, they are starting to run out of clock to bring themselves back on serve. But unsurprisingly, Tragic Hips with Owen Lumley on, having a great game so far. 1 block, 2 assists and 1 goal. But no Seaton Stiebert. Oh no, I tell a lie, he was hiding from me.
So, Lowen will collect the errant pull, and he'll have a chance to bring that right back to the brick mark. Here's another look at the beautiful scenes here on the beach. Southern Sardinia. It is a windy morning today, and we expect these winds will be hanging around all day. Lauan gets it to Stiebert. Stiebert to Lumley, and Lauan is going to collect. Canadians, probably the tidiest we've seen in some time in this game. 4 passes, and they're on the board there.
Yeah, really quick and smart offense. Nice lateral movement, especially for that final pass. Just slicing through the pitch here. Bit of throw and go action for your money. It's actually the eventual scorer started on that far side, cleared through, and again Lumley really just using his arm to open up the field. Well, it's not really a field to be fair, because we'll see we are playing on beach. Lumley, a youngster here, only 48 years old, hailing from Ottawa, been playing for 25 years. So he's had plenty of time to work on those gorgeous break throws that we've seen him use to crazy effect here. But of course this is Power Pool F, so the second spot will be facing a very difficult quarter final indeed. Current defending championships spangled, so we may see Young Legends have to play off against them, but only if they can find a way to surmount this Tragic Hip side, currently leading by 1 goal.
That pull out the back by about a foot. And you see Vital throw the hands up, not thrilled with the imperfection. As Tragic Hips will bring it to the front line. That's Brian Barney, disc in hand. Carney. Ooh, and throws right into Vital. Not sure what he thought he would get away with otherwise. Shunk picks up. Pirelli gets forward. Sideline now. Hartel. That one from Lang. And Hartel goes right past Vital, but Inga Moreau there and ready. Likely the intended receiver, and Vital maybe almost getting in the way there.
Well, that will level us back up at 6 apiece with just over 11 minutes remaining. And it's starting to get a little bit spicy here. Oh, well, I'll tell you what. We've had some intel, Steph, in the live chat. Good morning, Sarah Hermeking. Nice to have you alongside with us. They played with a team called MAD, Mothers and Daughters, and won an indoor tournament. Not surprised to hear that a Hermeking family team was very successful.
Well, that is amazing. As we suspected they might do in the future, already done in the past. We see Nas there. I think he forgot the word hi, but we will say hi to Hisham Lawan. Nas, likely an ex-teammate of his. He's played everywhere as well. Morning, Nasser. Lumley goes down, and there he is. Hisham Lawan looks for Stebet, but puts too much poutine chicken gravy on that one. And it sends sailing out the back.
Oh, well, I didn't think I would see one, but we finally found a disc too pacey for Seaton Stebet to go and catch. Shocking.
Brought into play and collected there by Struba, but we'll go back because of a pick to Peter Lulgin. You see some of Spangled Brains Trust on the sideline watching this one, doing a little bit of a scouting report. Peter Nia. Ooh, and thrown low, bid by Lumley, but still maintained, and he's showing a look out. I barely got it, but I got it. Kolstad picks up, zips it, and has the bigger receiver, and it is taken advantage of. Big play, Volker Schmidt burst out of the sand there to take that one high, and that is a break and a lead taker. 7-6 to the Young Legends.
Well, that was the rise when they needed it. Nice to see Volker Schmidt back on the pitch. Of course, he had that injury earlier on in the game to start us off. He came off and hadn't, I don't believe, returned to the pitch since. So that is why Volker Schmidt is required. He's got a big old frame, and he knows how to use it in the end zone against this swirling breeze. It's really gusting up. 192 centimeters tall is Volker Schmidt. Been playing since he was 18, and he's had a 40-year strong career. But Tragic Hips now need to respond. Lovely long shot there of Daniel Gwartz. That Toronto man, currently living over in Western Connecticut. He's a Mr. Biscotti.
We like him for that, among other things.
So what do you reckon, Steph? Are Young Legends are going to get the buy one, get one free break, having gotten that upwind?
I'm not not going to reckon anything. We're just going to see this one through. But they do have that potential advantage looming, especially when they float up like that. Now Vital looks down to a short field with the wind at his back. Throws a bit too far in front of Shunk. And the Canadians will get another chance at upwind redemption.
They will indeed, but that was all about the pressure being put on.
Whew. Speaking of pressure, it came again there. Iwashko hangs on to it, and not a lot of movement out of the Tragic Hips. And a lot of movement there by Moreau. She gets a hand to it, and I think the foul is being called by the looks of the discussion.
Yeah, there's a lot of touching of the elbow to indicate where the contact happened on the follow through. So an accepted foul by the looks of the hand signalling there from Moreau. Love to see it. I have to say, some of these veterans have forgotten to give us their full hand signals. They often signal what the call is, but not what the resolution is.
Iwashko winds up, sends deep. Barney's there, but Vital, the biggest body, and collected off the tip. Discussion ensues whether it was off the sand or not.
Well, we've got call on call because we've also got Rue Vital calling a foul. But that was a bit of a hospital pass, I think. Really solid execution into the breeze, considering that backhand's going up that line. But a fantastic grab from Dan Gwartz.
An accepted foul against Vital will negate the catch.
But it's all right, we caught it on video so it can live forever.
Shunk with the disc. He goes to Moreau. Moreau quick to get it back to Vital. And quick again is Moreau ripping up line. But Guy steps in front there and gets the D back for the Tragic Hips.
Yeah, throwing a trust ball, trying to go through the coverage, but great defense being played by Guy.
Next throw can't go to Iwashko. And Shunk will pick up again. Shunk to Hartel. Floats it too high, second effort! And Moreau was blinded, tried to jump through Guy, and has called the foul on Guy. He was blinded. Accepted. So that's gonna be Moreau's, or is it retracted? Yeah, no, it's accepted. That's why it's into the hands of Moreau. I wondered, as Guy had maintained possession there for a moment.
Yeah, I think it was a bit of a blind flail D more than anything. Just always difficult to execute those ones without making contact when you're stood that close to the other player.
And in for a goal, there is Lang shooting inside for Moreau, and that makes it 8-6. That is the 2-for-1 you spoke of.
Well, that is a real momentum change now at this late stage in the game. Tragic Hips definitely do have the ability to bring it back, but it is a difficult ask in the late stages, especially against this breeze, which just isn't letting up. But that was a little bit scrappy for that point for Young Legends. Really a tricky way through this tournament for Tragic Hips. That early difficult seeding. They did indeed have a tricky pool to go against, because not only did they have Hurt to go against, but also Rainbow Warriors, the only team in the initial pool stages to snag a top seed spot by defeating all of their opponents. And that, of course, is the Swedish side, Rainbow Warriors, who I think probably didn't have the best time of it back in Portimao. They were really up and down.
But getting it done this time around. But that time, oh, and the bailout almost available, but now a 0 meter field, and Lilo Struba jumps in for the chiseled cut. And another goal. The Canadians are going to call a timeout. That makes it 9-6 and 4 on the bounce since the Canadians had the lead at 6-5. The Germans are really putting it to them in the late stages of this one.
Oh, my heart breaks a little bit for Tragic Hips after that Universe point loss against Natsuo yesterday. They came in with so much confidence. Hopefully this time out they can refocus themselves. Let's get another look at that fabulous block. But can Tragic Hips hold on here?
Could be tough. We'll take a short break here and find out after.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, UltiTV, the best in the world.
Become a member and
fund
fund
our work to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
Timeout taken. Tragic Hips trying to figure out what happened and how they can spin that around with time running out. And time has run out. This point will be played and we'll add 1 to the high score, so it'll be either a game to 10 or 11. And the Canadians would prefer that it was to 10.
I have a sneaky feeling though, Steph. I have a sneaky feeling it's going to be a game to 11. We saw Young Legends get the 2-for-1 off the upwind break before.
Barney looking at a zone. Stebet, Iwashko. Launen cuts through, 0 options, then finds some space, does Launen to Stebet. There's Barney, now all sorts of space. Picks that one up with his chin. Can opener catch. And now Barney spinning around. And he goes all the way around as Launen did give him a free one in the dump space. And Lumley is out of bounds. Struba is wide open. Does he collect it? Looks like it. Disc may have taken some punishment, partially tacoed in the effort there.
Yeah, complete sacrifice of the body. Just holding it onto him. But a turnover.
And it was in fact a turnover. Struba passes it over to Stebet and through Lundley back to Launen. Stebet into Lumley. Launen and into Barney, and the Canadians do score. They get the upwinder, 7-9, game point, game to 10.
Oh, well, this just got a little bit more exciting, didn't it? I think certainly if Tragic Hips had failed to punch in that offensive hold, it would have been a very different scenario for the mental side. We're going to get a power line coming out for Tragic Hips. Neither Lumley nor Seaton will be leaving. Stebet. Seaton feels like it should be a surname to me sometimes.
I mean, he is just Seaton, really.
He's got it on his back as well.
Yeah.
It's very confusing. But yeah, neither of those two leaving the pitch have been continuing to have a sensational game. Owen Lumley with 5 stats on the board, and of course Seaton Stebet with 4 out of these 7 Tragic Hips points.
That pull does land out of bounds and will need to be brought back in.
Yeah, Tim Kohlstadt actually lives in Barcelona, does the 71 shirt.
That's a nice place to live. hot, hot, hot in August, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, yes.
Kolstad, backhands to the far sideline. Logan inside has Schmidt. Kolstad. He whipped it deep. That could be the game, but Owen Lumley to the rescue. Was the contact enough to negate? No call made.
Oh, Owen Lumley stepping up in the big moments. What a play that was. Not the most easy disc for Eric Felkner to try and read, but a great battle between those two athletes. And they'll match up again. Person coverage for Young Legends O-line.
Lumley. Under from the Pebble himself, Bronson. Now to Stiebert. Stiebert to Bronson. Bronson goes to Lumley all alone. This for the break. Can they punch it in? Lumley looking all eyes to Stiebert, and he's got it. Did he toe the back line? He did indeed. And bringing it to within one. That was the downwind. The upwind break, the bigger task. But if they get that, we're on Universe. Of course, second game point will be available. First downwind game point for Young Legends.
Well, Owen Lumley once again delivering some throwing creativity, showing his prowess. Nearly ran out of room, but fabulous footwork. Seaton Stiebert also, well, I think at the moment it's fair to say that those two are having a fabulous game connecting with each other. But it's not just a two-player game. Actually, there have been a fair few points where those players have been shut down relatively handily, and therefore others have been required to step up to the oche, but the two will stay on alongside Hicham Ishamluam. And the ball being thrown by Graham Katz, who got a piece on a disc earlier, and Kirsten Kerbach.
Shunk goes deep right away. Hartel reads it in front of, behind Lumley, but not quite in. Moreau all alone. Dump pass to Vital. A bit of contact there between Katz and Hartel, but the throw goes to Shunk. Shunk looking at the end zone, and a stoppage after Vital and Lowen bang into each other.
Yeah, a fair bit of bumping, although my favourite moment of the game at the moment has to be Hartel casually shrugging after grabbing that huge hook.
Shunk surveying options. Stall count mounting, finds Hartel just through the mailbox slot there. And that's going to do it. Game, set, match. A 10-8 victory for the Young Legends. They will advance to the upper bracket and will have a chance to have a repeat of the finals as a quarterfinal this year.
Well, that is going to be a game to watch, Stefan. Hats off and commiseration to Tragic Hips. They pushed Natsu-O yesterday all the way to Universe, but I think in the late stage of this game they just lost that little bit of confidence. They had a couple of unforced errors, a couple of throws into the sand in the earlier stages of the game. They recovered well in the last couple of moments, but they just couldn't quite manage it. And Young Legends hung on by the skin of their teeth after that 4 unanswered run to take us from 6s to 9-6. Just really putting their foot on the gas pedal and seeing this game through.
Well, with that all said and done, we are going to call that a morning. We have more action coming up next. Don't you go anywhere. Games all day long. It's Team Finland versus Jets next, and we can tell you Rainbow Warriors versus Mountain Beachers after that. From then on, we're gonna have to work out our schedule to see what these brackets look like, and we'll bring you all that action too. Thanks for being with us. For Hannah Pendlebury, I've been Stefan Rapazzo on UltiTV, and we'll catch you very soon at that next one.
Thanks.
Yeah, Ultimate.
It's alive like a beacon.